This is the part of the show you guys want to tune in for. This is part of the show you guys actually want to, you're going to come away with something to say, because now we're talking about the second day of mandatory minicamp. And today, Dan Campbell at the podium has some positive things to say about a guy that we may or may not have
written off.
Yes, to say the least.
Levi is having a really good spring. Levi, Pascal is too, but Levi, because of where he's come from and all he's had to deal with, I mean, this guy just he's continued to rehab, he's continued to train his body and work. He's put on weight because, his back can handle it now. We got him through last year to where he's able to bank some reps, and he's having a really good spring, okay? And so I like where both of those players are at right now.
There few times am I proud to be wrong about something.
Mm-hmm.
This is just one, because this is just so admirable, in my opinion. I mean, Jared Goff's come back to admirable too, but this one, maybe even more so. I mean, depends obviously how it stands out. And I think Dan Campbell did give some preface to it that hey, it's still spring, but this is a guy that I told you I think he might medically retire, and then he come back from that, plays last year, and I'm like, yo. He's just not going to be what you expect to be as a draft pick because of this injury. It's a back injury. You're playing defensive line. He's very limited with that situation. As Dan Campbell said, continue to rehab. Now he's able to put on more weight because he's further along in the rehab process. And now he's playing both sides or all over the ball, it sounds like, on the defensive line. All over the line, I should have said. He's playing outside, inside. We read it yesterday that he had a coverage sack, not a coverage sack, but a sack on Hendon Hooker almost hurt him again. This is, again, couldn't be more proud to be wrong about something. Levi Onwuzurike, if he ends up becoming a staple on this defensive line that we all expect to jump from Terrell Williams, fucking A. That's amazing.
That would be huge. It would be huge, no pun intended. Having a defensive line rotation is one of the most important things to have in the NFL. Having these big uglies in the defensive line that you can just consistently bring in, consistently give spells to. So when these big uglies on the offensive line are tired after dealing with DJ Reader and Lee McNeil for 40 snaps, then you send in a Levi Onwuzurike or a Broderick Martin or a Mekhi Wingo or any of these guys in there on fresh legs to attack them. That will be so beneficial. And Levi Onwuzurike, he's shown us in spurts what he can do in the NFL. His rookie year, when he played, when he was healthy, he showed he could be a problem in the NFL. So if he is healthy, if he is ready to go, that is another addition to this defensive line that will just help them get better, help them get stronger, help them stop the run, get to the passer. That's what he's known for, is getting the passer from that interior side. That's why they drafted him. That's why so many people wanted him. That's why the Eagles were pissed off that the Lions took him ahead of them, because they wanted him so bad, because he was known as an interior pass rusher, and that is so valuable for an NFL defensive line. I would love to see Levi come back and be healthy.
No, it was Levi, and you think about when he got drafted, you got drafted above Ali McNeil. This was Brad Holmes' first draft pick where he clearly was trying to build from the trenches. You go with Sewell, then you go with Levi, and then it was Aleem as well in the third round. If this guy can do anything for this team, it helps.
Yeah.
I completely wrote off Levi Onwuzurike because, like you said, Easy, back problems like that. It is never good to hear, dealing with back issues. I'm proud of this guy. Honestly, it's good to hear from Dan saying this. If he can be, half of what you drafted him to be, that'd be great for this defense and a big surprise.
I only know it's Liam because shout out my guy Philly the podcast. We have a little trash talk back and forth about obviously him being, or I guess what looks like he's going to be a stud for us. But real quick, here's some more context to that one. Here's Tim 20-Min's blurb about, he calls it the redemption season in terms of Levi Onwuzurike. He says, fourth-year defensive lineman Levi Onwuzurike has caught my eye a couple of times this spring. He's finally passed the back injury that limited him his first 2 seasons. He's gained 15 pounds this offseason. We've been talking about Aleem losing weight. We've been talking about Broderick losing weight. This guy's gained 15 pounds this offseason, expanded his duties to play a little bit on the edge at the big end as well as inside. He made a really nice play Wednesday in the backfield that blew up a drill when he got to the quarterback, Hendon Hooker, for a sack. So remember, that was a conversation we had yesterday when he got to Hendon Hooker and hurt. And again, today. Now, maybe he's just dominating that particular offensive lineman, it sounds like. I don't know. I wasn't there to see it, but that's 2 days in a row he's getting a sack against the second team. It gives context. Chris?
Levi Onwuzurike is your 2024 recipient of the Derek Barnes Award. This guy found God. This guy did whatever he needed to do to transform himself. And I think, this is what camp is about. This is every year there's, we make these predictions about cuts and we look at last year. But, that's what the offseason is for so many people. That's the one thing you can never fully accurately predict as people that are making these predictions in sports is the offseason. Some people regress. Some people make a jump. Some people make a bigger jump than others. That's the one thing that you can't ever fully know coming into training camp. And it seems like he made that jump. So, I mean, you love everything you're hearing from Dan Campbell because, again, Dan Campbell shoots it straight. He doesn't. If he talks highly of a player, it's because they're playing well. If he talks negatively of a player, it's because they're playing poorly. Dan Campbell has given us, he's allowed us to put faith and trust in what he's saying is honest and not a PR spin or anything like that. He didn't have to bring him up. He brought him up willingly. So I think that shows a lot about what he is. And I think this is, like you guys said, I think this is a home run to add to this, to the trenches and something that will just make this defense a lot better.
And I want to say this too. I'm not saying he's going to be a stud. I'm not saying he's going to be like all out. But what it is,
he's elite.
The comeback in the self. Like just to apply pressure to a guy like Josh Pascal, who's also playing on the edge, and then sparingly on the inside as well. Like competition makes everybody better. And in fact, he's even in the conversation, right? I mean, Campbell had to make a mention to Pascal, but Levi is really the one he's like pointing to in that one. And I'm just admirable in that one. Again, the depth of itself. That's what it is.
Yeah, and now everybody loves a comeback story,
Mm-hmm.
Rocky,
Shout out Kim K.
Kim Kardashian. Yeah. Like everybody loves a comeback story. But keys to wisdom, player hater of the year says Brokeback Levi is probably not going to elevate the play past the guys already out there. Hopefully he plays very little.
Wow, that's some hater ass.
That is some real hater ass shit. And
he's
going to be better than what we had out there last year. You remember who they were trotting out there last year? Quentin Bohanna,
Tyson
Alualu. Like, he's going to be better than Isaiah Buggs.
Tyson actually was.
He's going to be better than those guys. He can be better than those guys. And now we have the depth of a DJ Reader, of an Ali McNeil. Hopefully Broderick Martin is ready to go. If Levi can be healthy, that would be an extremely important piece to be a rotational defensive lineman.
Shout out to Levi Onwuzurike, man. Phenomenal story. I hope he continues that trajectory and gets a fair shot at having an NFL career. I mean, obviously, he was, again, we love Aleem. He was taken before, as Nick mentioned. He was drafted before the guy we are in love with right now, Aleem McNeil. So, there's obviously some expectations if he's able to play healthy and be who he is as a player, and that's the aggressive style. I think I talk about it all the time, too, when he had his first interview. He's just talking about can't wait to get on the field and whoop some ass. That's who he is as a human being. Maybe shame on me for, I guess, discounting that guy. I just thought back injury, in my experience with back injuries, and then the few people I know, I mean, maybe that's the one you guys talk about with Dr. Pierce next time, is the back injury that Levi Onwuzurike had.
Yeah.
And I guess the possibilities or the probabilities that other people have come back from, especially, again, at an offensive or defensive line position. That's a lot, bro.
That's a lot.
You're battling 300-pound men.
It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of torque. It's a lot of inertia. When you're a 300-pound man going against another 300-pound man, and he's just banging you and banging you and banging you. Shout out Charles Barkley.
I am a fan of guys with big butts.
Chris's dream.
It is Chris's dream. That's a lot of weight to be thrown around. But hopefully he can be healthy, because the key to every good defense is a good defensive line, especially a rotation.
If he doesn't make this defensive line better on the field, he'll definitely do it in the training camp again, just applying pressure to guys like Josh Pascal, John Kaminsky. Because now with Terrell Williams in the building, it sounds like Makai's playing edge a little bit, Levi's playing edge a little bit, Josh Pascal was already doing those things. We've seen Hutch doing it. It sounds like a steep competition, man, because you got guys getting reps in it everywhere, and obviously they're looking. I just read the blurb about him getting to the quarterback at the edge position. It's steep competition everywhere. You're gonna have to step up all around, and I think that's the good part of it, just in camp in itself.